Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with another layout for the Hip Kit Club, and it's my first layout using the 2018 January kits. And my theme for today on Mixed Media Monday is to use some of these really fun, beautiful Vicki Boutin watercolor stickers. And there's a whole pack of these. There's several sheets of them, and they're this really thick sticker. It's kind of like a cardstock, and you can color these with anything. I'm going to use this Distress Oxides. The pink and the orange we got this month in the color kit, and then the green and the blue we got in the November color kits. And so these colors just scream tropical to me, and the stickers that jumped out at me right away were those beautiful flowers. And so this is super easy to do. I'm going to use my water brush, and all I did was take the ink pad and stamp it onto some plastic. And then I'm just going to barely squeeze my water brush to get some water on the tip, and then mix it in with the paint and then color in the flowers. It almost felt like I was old school coloring with a coloring book, and it's really fun, really fast, really easy to do. I think anybody can do this. And you know, you don't have to color these. You could use these white. I know there's so many fun designs I've seen with just using black and white elements, and you could totally do that. But I wanted to color these flowers in, and so I'm mixing the picked raspberry and the spiced marmalade together just to create a couple of different shades within these flowers, just to try to make them look a little more realistic. And I love how they turned out. I think they look really pretty on the layout. And at this point, I don't even have my picture chosen. I don't even have any pattern papers chosen. I just wanted to color these flowers and then make everything work around that. And so I think, you know, when you're trying to come up with an idea, if you don't have a picture yet, that's okay. If you see something that you want to work with, just start working with it, you know. And in my case, with these flowers, I knew I wanted to color them, and I wanted to use bright tropical colors. And when I think of bright tropical colors, I think of pinks, oranges, blues, yellows, and greens. And so I just started going for it, and I thought, you know, once these are colored, I'll see how they look, and then I'll pick my photo and start to look through the papers and kind of decide what embellishments I want to use. So I wanted to add a little bit more shading, different tones in the centers of these flowers to make them look even more realistic. So I pulled out some shimmer sprays. These are two sprays that we've gotten in past color kits, Colorings Pink Stilettos and Spritz Ruby. I'm not exactly sure which color kit or which month, but if you go back to the website and search, you'll definitely find these two. They're both pink, deep pink, but just very different shades. The Ruby has more of like a red shimmery tone to it, while the Pink Stiletto is just like a flat color, and it's a really pretty magenta pink. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just adding a little bit of these darker colors to the petals right near the middle, and just kind of smudging it with my finger just to make them look a little more, you know, 3D, give them a little more depth. And this was a lot of fun. I felt like I could just keep doing this and keep adding color and keep adding color. Now this is a blue from my stash. This was not in a color kit, but I wanted to add a little bit of a deeper blue. And you could do this with any darker blue color you have. You could even use gelatos if you have gelatos, or watercolor pencils. That blue is called Deep Blue Sea, and it's a Vibes. And you can see just how by adding those darker colors, how it really enhanced the realistic look of those flowers. So I went through all the sheets. I'm going to color in pretty much all the flowers that look like this. There, if you look at the bottom right of that sticker sheet where my wrist is, there's some really big detailed, almost like rose flowers, but I didn't want to use those. Those are very detailed, and I wanted to just use more of a simple flower, and so these looked more tropical to me. So I kept going. I used the green, I colored all the leaves, and then I colored even some of the smaller flowers with yellow and then a couple of blue ones. And I used the green Don't Citron Me with a couple of shimmer sprays mixed in just to give it some different shades. So I'm going to get crazy here and use some bold patterns. This is one of the exclusive papers that Kim Watson designed, and I'm going to use the black and white stripe. I think since the flowers and the watercolor paper were, you know, outlined in black, I felt like I could go with some black. And so I'm going to mix and match. This is another exclusive paper that Kim Watson designed, and it's a really soft pink with some white polka dots. And I'm going to sort of create a vertical design. And there's my picture. I don't think I've ever scrapped a Snapchat photo. I don't really do Snapchat, but when it first started and it was all the rage, I just had to download it just for the sake of taking pictures. And so this is a picture of me and Paige back. I don't even know if they still have the little deer, but this is when they had the cute little deer. And she would not smile for me for nothing, but you know what? She looked adorable, and so I thought, yeah, I'm going to scrap that. And I thought these colors matched well because her tank top is black and white stripe, and there's blue, and there's pink, and I just thought it would be a really fun photo to scrap. And so all I'm doing here is I glued down those strips, and I'm adding some white gesso. I'm using a palette knife, I'm using my hand, just to kind of create some white haze. I don't want the lines to be super harsh, and that's why I use my hands a lot, to kind of make it look like a cloud. That background paper is Ocean Breeze Smooth Basil Textured, or no, I'm sorry, not textured, smooth cardstock. It's in the cardstock kit, and it's gorgeous. It's this soft, light blue color, and I thought, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that is going to be my background. I love it. And it's very thick, too, so it can withstand all the stuff that I'm doing here. Yeah, so I added the gesso, let it dry, and I'm going back to those Distress Oxides, and you can see clearly here I'm doing the packaging technique. I'm just stamping it right down onto the plastic, spritzing it with some water, smudging it together to mix it up, and then flipping it over and smudging it down. You cannot go wrong with this type of technique. If you want some messy, artsy watercolor look on your background, then the packaging technique is a great way to do that. It's fast. It's an easy, quick way to spread around a lot of color, and you know, you can layer, you can mix and match. You can also just use the plastic as your palette there. Add some water and just dip your brush in it. You could also use your brush to paint. So the plastic packaging, never throw that away. It has a lot of use. So I'm just going to work on my background here. I'm going to use a little bit of those colors. I'm going to use the peacock feathers, which is the blue, the picked raspberry, which is the pink, and then the spice marmalade, which is the orange. And I'm just trying to create this big watercolor splash behind my picture. And then once I get that dry and get my picture organized, I'll start to bring in those flowers. This is Sweetheart Vibes from Shimmers. We also got that in a color kit. We've gotten several different shades of Shimmers spray in pink over the last several months. They're all different colors, but they're all pink. And I use them all the time. They are so awesome and so pretty, and they always tend to match everything that we get in the kits every month. And so basically every time I get a color kit, I just leave it out on my desk because I reach for it all the time. And I use it not just for hip kit stuff, but for almost every layout I ever make. I use Shimmers, and we've gotten so much of that in the color kit. So I highly recommend, if you like any type of mixed media, the color kit is great because, you know, you don't just use it that 1 month and it's gone. You have it for a long time, and it lasts and lasts. So I think it's worth it. So I kept working on the background, I let it dry, and then I did some messy stitching with some black thread, up and down, back and forth, kind of crooked, and then a little bit of zigzag there. And I love how that looks. It just sort of gives me a place to anchor my photo, and then the way I've got the paint going, I kind of know exactly how my layout is going to go, or how the design is going to go. That's a Project Life card that's exclusive. The Project Life cards are always exclusive every month. It's the perfect shade of pink. Now here's an idea. I want to use these stickers, but I don't want to stick them down. So I just put a little bit of powder in my hand, and now I'm going to put each sticker over the powder, and this is going to instantly take away the sticky factor. So now I can move these around very easily, and they're not going to stick to my picture. They're not going to stick to the background. It's a great way to remove sticky if you don't want to actually stick your sticker down, but you want to move it around like an embellishment. Use some powder. I know I didn't come up with that. I think I saw that years ago. I don't remember who did that, but just an idea to try. So here are all the things that I colored, and what I'm going to wind up doing is trimming off some of the white edges. If you look at these stickers, they have a white border, and on the big flowers, I'm okay with it, but on the smaller flowers, the white border is thicker, and then on the leaves, it's pretty thick, so I'm going to trim that up just to make it not so white. I want the background to show a little bit more. And I also pulled out some of the crepe paper main squeeze ephemera. I don't wind up using any of it. I just couldn't make it work on this layout particularly. It is so cute. There's so many glittery Valentine's lovey-dovey type things, and I cannot wait to use them. But for this particular layout, just did not flow. I couldn't really find a place to put anything. So I just decided to stick kind of with the tropical vibe for this. And I kind of like how this is looking. I'm going to add some thread. I've got some of the deep blue over to the left, and I felt like I needed a little pop of black over to the right, so I added in some black, and then I'm going to add in some pink right underneath the right corner there. And then very carefully, I'm going to start to glue things down. I didn't want to just remove everything because I would never get it back like I wanted, and so I'm just going to add a dab of glue very carefully and get all that glued down. And then I'm going to go back to those Vicki Boutin stickers, and I'm going to use some as is. There's little phrases, there's butterflies, there's arrows, there's a little bit of everything. And so I'm going to use some of the words. At the top, that little piece says "You're awesome," and then the little sticker at the bottom I just added says "Love it." And then I'm going to add a couple over to the right, because my main struggle with this layout was what was I going to use for a title. At this point, I just really didn't know. Did I want a big title? Do I want a little title? Do I want no title? Here's something else I love in these kits. I love everything, but these little American Craft memory planner stickers, there's 6 sheets and they're transparent, but they're all different colors. They're so pretty. The colors are gorgeous and the sayings are great. You definitely don't have to just use these on planners. As you can see, I use everything on layouts. I don't do Project Life. I don't do planning. I don't do memory planning. I don't do traveler's notebooks. I just straight up like scrapbooking, and I use everything on a layout. So don't think that just because it's in a Project Life kit that you can't use it on your layouts, because you most definitely can. Now those are some Pink Fresh Studio stickers, and there were so many. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to narrow this down. Which ones am I going to use? So I narrowed it down to some green ones. I put the little together tab above the photo, and then I'm going to stamp on this little green and white sticker label there, and that's the Vicki Boutin stamp. We get that this month, and it has got the cutest little sayings. And then to kind of make that white blend into the background, I'm going to go over it with a little bit of the watercolor and just make it not so stark white. And I like how that looks. Kind of blends into the background. Again, just showing the versatility of those stickers. They're great. So I did decide to go with a big title, and this is from Vicki Boutin's collection also. I'm going to use this big, thicker, I love the font. Just says sweet. I know that's a very generic thing to use for your title, but you know what? It was there, it was cute, it fit. I like it. So, and it was a sweet picture, so I think it's good. So I did add some black splatters because I felt like it needed it, and then I'm going to add in my lines and my journaling, and I think that is going to wind this up. Yep, there's the final layout. I love how this turned out. A lot of fun. So many fun things in the kits this month. I cannot wait to see what you guys start to make with them. Lots of different options. I mean, I never really thought I would make a tropical colored layout, even though it's not a tropical photo. It has a tropical feel to it, and I didn't even really think of that when I first started, but clearly you can do summer pages. You could do anything with these kits because there's so many colors and so many different versatile things to do. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed watching this. It was a lot of fun to make. So, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great week.